What's up, guys? Pigeon Return Studios, going Infinite, Tommy, whatever you want to call me. I am with the Game Night crew. This is the 5th time doing this.
Is it? I think it's actually the 4th time, but it's episode 2. Because last time was the 4th time, episode 1.
Yeah, technically, that's true.
Or maybe this is Mania. I don't know.
We've only streamed 4 times. I thought we.
I mean, we probably streamed more, actually. I remember we did one, but then you wanted me to private it.
We did a couple that were not specifically Game Night streams, but I joined in, like that one where we made fan characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, this Pob CCC here, along with my brother, DJ Nathaniel, who this is his first time ever actually being on a stream.
Inaccurate.
I mean, he...
Ever staying on a stream. He was the one who pulled a Ben Swallow.
And ran away, essentially. All right, we have one viewer. What I do is that I frequently check the chat to see what people are saying. 2 likes. Kaiju Cycle Films and Gojira Wars are in this, and that is nice. Hello, folks.
Good to see you.
Fellow comrades. So, for those of you guys who are on this channel right now, I hope you guys enjoyed the film I made that I released just a few hours ago.
Yeah, that's it's fun.
I think it's probably one of my favorite films that I've made so far. I really enjoyed some of the editing I've done for it.
For me, it's up there with the Giganosaurus Rex films. It's pretty cool. So what are we specific? Oh, that was quite the voice crack there. Anyway, what? What are we? So what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. Usually we have some type of topic, like when we talked about The Last Jedi that one time, but I really can't think of anything right now. So the last game night I was here, which unfortunately I was not able to do a stream for, I finished Sonic Mania. Phenomenal game. Absolutely phenomenal. I totally recommend Sonic Mania, especially for the Sonic fans. I know I'm really late to saying this, but Sonic Mania is just for the fans.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing about Sonic Mania to me that's kind of cool is the fact that it is like the best Sonic game for fans in years, yet it's also the best Sonic game for non-fans in years. It has so many different references and Easter eggs and stuff that are for the fans, yet it's also filled to the brim with great platforming, amazing mechanics. It's great for any platformer fan, not just Sonic fans.
Yeah. And I can understand why so many people, like, right after Forces was released, were so disappointed with the game, because beforehand we got arguably one of the best Sonic games in years from some fans, yet we got a lesser game from the actual company. It's kind of a disappointment, you know.
Here's a little background on Forces, actually. So Mania is the 2D sprite-based game that was phenomenal, and Forces is the 3D game that was a huge disappointment in November, just to make sure everybody's aware. So back in 2008, when the game Sonic Unleashed came out, Sonic Team had started working on this thing called the Hedgehog engine in 2006, around, or I think even a little bit before the dreaded Sonic 06 came out. So the Hedgehog engine was able to generate dynamic lighting and was able to use assets in very effective ways to create phenomenal graphics for the 360, or for the Xbox 360 and PS3. So Sonic Unleashed in 2008 and Sonic Generations in 2011, but to a slightly lesser extent, both used that engine. In my opinion, Sonic Unleashed is one of the best looking Sonic games ever. Maybe even one of the best looking games on like 360 or PS4. That's debatable.
PS4?
PS3, I mean. Sorry, not PS4. But great art style and everything. So since 2013, Sonic Team has been working on the game Sonic Forces. But here's the thing. They have this new Hedgehog Engine 2 or Hedgehog Engine 2.0 or something. And a lot of people are confused. A lot of people think it's a gameplay engine. It's not. It's purely a graphical engine. But the problem is the way they've used it, I'm pretty sure they spent the majority of their 4 years in development only working on the graphical engine. Then they probably spent just a little bit more than a year working on the game itself, because the game is incredibly unpolished. It's really not very good.
It's funny how a game that's nearly like 10 years older has better looking graphics, and like compared to Forces, like Unleashed, it looks far better than Forces, especially the cutscenes. Like you'd expect something that's nearly 10 years older to look inferior, but it's
Yeah.
just quite the opposite. And
I mean, I do have to give it to the art team on Forces. It's clear that they worked hard with what they were given. The art is still very good. Technically, Forces is technically more impressive than Unleashed, but I think the art team worked really hard on it, but they just didn't get enough time because of like deadlines and stuff, which is very clear. As a lot of times in stages, you'll see a lot of clutter and stuff, and it just doesn't look that great. We have 0 viewers.
yeah, that's what usually happens after a while. Some people leave, but then some people join.
I can't really blame anybody though. The Godzilla fans coming to a stream and we're just talking about Sonic.
Yeah, but that's because like the game night is more about gaming and like stuff like that. There's not really many Godzilla games out there like nowadays. I mean, there was like a whole bunch like back then, but nowadays it's just kind of scarce. And to be honest, I just hope Sega just kind of realizes that people want Christian Whitehead and like that team to make more Sonic games. So, yeah, I just hope that they allow him to make Sonic games nowadays because he knows what he's doing with the game. He and his team know what they're doing. Well, the Sonic team just kind of doesn't really know. And people may say, well, Sonic team made Sonic 3, but yeah, there's a different team behind that. There's different people behind that.
Naoto Oshima, the guy who originally designed Sonic as a character, he posted a picture today, and he went to a restaurant with Yuji Naka, the original lead programmer, and somebody who I believe was the original level designer for Sonic 1 and 2 and 3. So that was just really cool to me to see the original team back together. I actually commented on it, and I was like, oh, hey, it's the original team. But, you know, even though people like Yuji Naka did have a part in bad games like Sonic 06, they had a much clearer and much more full vision for the Sonic franchise.
And really, like, I can't really blame them. Like, they probably got, like, the Mark Hamill end of the stick, meaning they really didn't have much in it. They probably didn't really have that big of a role in making 06, for example, like you mentioned. And honestly, it's kind of a bummer because, like, Sonic back then, like, had it like a direction. Like, the people who made Sonic knew, like, they knew what they were going to be doing with the character. They had something planned for the character. They knew how he was going to work. And really, and when there was different people involved with the games, that's when it kind of shifted because you have people with conflicting ideas on what Sonic should be and how he should be portrayed. Hence why he is just all over the place in like the past few games. How he goes from being really serious, like Sonic has been tortured for months, to all of a sudden like Baldy knows here. You know, they really don't have a plan. There's no set plan for what to do with Sonic. Just they kind of have him have the stereotypical 90s character attitude they saved. You know, that's a typical Sonic.
They don't even do it correctly now, though. That's the problem. They try to give him the attitude, but it doesn't have any of the punch that he would have had in the 90s, which is really hurting him.
And like the thing is, like, take a character like Mario, for example. Mario is much older than Sonic, but yet he is lasting perfectly. The thing is, that's because like they have a consistent story. They are consistent on how they want to treat Mario. But with Sonic, it's just bad. They don't know what to do with Sonic, so they just kind of sound the different people who really don't know what to do with the Sonic character, and boom.
Yeah.
You get very bland and mediocre games, or games that were disappointments, you know. Sure, you get some good games here and there, like Elements of Unleashed, Generations, and Colors, but really, other than that, like, you get an inconsistent character with conflicting views.
Yeah. You know, I realized something over the past month or so, especially the past couple of weeks, about Sonic Forces and Sonic 06. It's weird. A lot of people are treating Sonic Boom like the second Sonic 06. I kind of think that's idiotic to think that way because Sonic Boom is a complete spin-off developed by a separate studio.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the main Sonic timeline or storyline. But Forces is more of a second 06 to me because even though it's not as critically as much of a bad game, it actually kind of makes me angrier than 06 did for a lot of reasons. So when you look... Oh, okay, we're on stream. So anyway, when you look at 06 and Forces were both bad games for, like, opposite reasons. Okay? Just hear me out on this. So Sonic 06 was a
Boring and dumb game.
that wasn't funny.
We gotta play some Sonic.
It's like the thing about 06 is that it was incredibly glitched, but that's mainly because from what I heard they had to do that stuff the last minute essentially.
What I
They
was gonna,
rushed it.
what I was gonna say was so it's like bad for the opposite reasons, because in the case of 06, they obviously had a grand idea for the story, but they had a short time limit. They were putting a ton of effort into it, but they had a very short, small, early deadline. And then in Forces, they had 4 years to work on the freaking game, yet it's obvious they didn't put their full effort into it. They didn't try very hard. That's just very, very clear.
Filthy casual.
And like sure you may say, well, Sonic Boom has a lot of like glitches, but the thing is, like, yet again, this wasn't made by Sega really. From what I heard, another company mainly made it.
The other thing is I don't know how they had this oversight, but they developed it on PCs on hardware that would run on the Xbox and PS4, but it was a Wii U game. They developed a Wii U game as being too power consuming for the Wii U. It couldn't be ported effectively.
But hey, at least like the good thing we got out of Sonic Boom was like the TV show. It's some of the merchandise. Like the TV show was really good. I hope they work on that TV show more, even though Cartoon Network is obsessed with Teen Titans Go.
Although I have a feeling the Sonic Boom TV show is dead.
All of the good. Okay, that starts a whole new discussion. All of the good Cartoon Network shows have kind of gone away. Like you have Adventure Time, which ended. You have
Gumball, which is ending.
Yeah, Gumball's ending. Regular show ended. I mean, some people might disagree with me, but I think Clarence is actually a really good show.
The thing is, like, at this point, who really cares about Cartoon Network? Like
the things that I would watch.
The only people who talk about it are overaged men complaining about Teen Titans Go.
The only thing that I'd say is decent on CNN that's still going is Steven Universe. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of people will disagree. I say that's a pretty good show.
No, it's a good show, but it gets kind of cringy, and it's really gotten cringier as the seasons have gone on. Like, not even the show itself. Watching the show itself is just very enjoyable, but, like, the concept, when you think about it, is extremely cringy, you know?
Yeah. Personally, I just...
I feel like they're starting to run out of ideas for that show.
Maybe. I haven't watched it in, like...
I think that if they put an end to it quickly, it'll go out really well. But if they try to prolong it for too long, it's going to end up bad.
Well, that's one thing that's really hurt the show: hiatuses and bad episode planning. They have these things called Steven bombs, where every couple months they release like 4 or 5 episodes in 1 week, and then they take another hiatus, which is a really bad way to release a story like that. And sometimes a Steven bomb will be full of important episodes, and sometimes it will be full of just filler. So that creates
the last one was a very it had a lot of important episodes.
Don't tell me anything about it because I haven't watched it.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of really important stuff that's happening.
It's been so long since I've actually watched TV, so I really don't like TV that much. I mainly just reside on the internet because the internet is better than TV, honestly.
Not entirely, but the only shows I've really watched lately, I watched Samurai Jack Season 5 when it first came out, which was phenomenal, of course. That was great.
It's great.
And then I've started watching Voltron Legendary Defender back in late October, early November.
Here's
the thing. The next season of Samurai Jack just happened like a year to a year and a half ago between that area.
Dude, it happened
It's
less
good.
than a year ago.
Oh, less than a year ago? Really?
Yeah, wasn't it like March?
Yeah,
or
but
something?
the original seasons happened a really long time ago. It's crazy that like it ended off, but then suddenly the creator of it just comes back and he's like, "We're gonna finish this." Oh, like 10 years later.
He always wanted to finish it. Cartoon Network are the people who didn't let the show keep going.
Because Cartoon Network doesn't know how to run itself.
Because they cancel. Well, not necessarily because like regular show just ended because the person had to go on to do other projects. But and I think that Cartoon Network just doesn't know how to keep good shows.
And the thing is, like, the thing about TV shows and like just shows in general, like, doesn't matter if it's TV or internet. Like, it's like sometimes you can manage to keep it going for years. For example, the Angry Video Game Nerd has been over for over a decade, but yet it still has fresh ideas coming out. But then if we look at shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy, they barely have stuff to keep it going.
Because
People
they've
even
used
dump.
they've done everything. Simpsons and Family Guys have had so many episodes that it's over. There's nothing else for them to add to it. They've had every idea.
In fact, The Simpsons is now like people call it zombie Simpsons nowadays because it's pretty much a zombie. It's on life support. It's a vegetable. It's like it should just be dead at this point. That's the thing about The Simpsons. It just pretty much they've done everything. So really, just kind of they're just so it's just kind of there. It's like, oh, The Simpsons is on. You just kind of just like, oh yeah, The Simpsons. Well, back then it used to like have a lot of meaning to it. It was actually a really good, like kind of more adult based, but still relatively friendly show on Fox. Family Guy was an interesting concept, and it was funny for a while. But then, yet again, when it should have ended, they were able to bring it back multiple times, and eventually they reused the same tropes. That's essentially like the problem with shows that last for years because you run out of ideas or the ideas you have aren't good.
That's why Gumball later on, right now it's becoming it became worse. But Gumball, I have to say that it's actually pretty crazy how long it's been able to stay good and relevant.
Especially on Cartoon Network of all places.
Yeah, I mean it's great that Cartoon Network was able to at least keep one show for like more than 7 years. That was good.
How long has Gumball been on the Cartoon Network?
Like since 2012.
This would be its 6th year of being on Cartoon Network.
2011. I think it started in 2011 or 2012.
It's 6 or 7 years.
I'll look it up.
But either way, it's been on Cartoon Network for longer than most shows, so that's something good.
Mm-hmm.
But, as they say, all good things must come to an end, and that's what's going to be happening with the show soon, because I heard multiple times that's going to be ending really soon.
Okay, so it started in 2011.
So that's like 7 years, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, so 7 years. That's right.
Either way, it's been going on for a long time, so if it ends now, and if they have a good finale, then that would be fitting, I guess. And I've heard multiple times that Seth MacFarlane, the dude who made Family Guy, wants to end the show. He said it like multiple times. He wants it to end, but I guess,
Well, Disney owns it now.
Oh, my goodness. Just imagine if Disney tried to do politics.
Well, I mean, Disney does own it now.
Oh, wow.
But Disney doesn't own the news channel.
Yeah, Disney owns every part of Fox except for the news.
Oh. So for any of you guys who actually like Fox and good news, Disney won't try to do politics, even though they kind of did with Star Wars.
Disney is a very liberal company. Well, then you have Fox News, which is
very
one of the very few conservative news sources. So it kind of makes sense that Fox is like, you can take our shows, but you can take our movies, but you can't take our news.
Oh man.
Exactly, and that's I personally like Fox News.
I don't really
honest.
care for any kind of news.
I think that all news is biased, and it's going to be almost impossible to find an unbiased news source. You're either going to find something that's too liberal or too conservative, which is
like
I choose whenever I see a news story, unless it's positive, I don't watch it because I know that if you have any sort of negative news story, it's going to be biased.
Especially what CNN does.
Yeah, CNN.
Like when they did a report on the shooter, they were like, he's a white heterosexual conservative, all this stuff, and then there's Fox is like just a shooter.
Well, there were CNN. I believe it was CNN. It might have been something else, but I'm pretty sure it was CNN. There was this one news story where, I mean, this is going to get kind of dark for a second, but there were 4 Black teenagers. They were either they were above 18, maybe in their early 20s. They kidnapped and cut and hurt and made this white autistic kid drink toilet water and stuff, and they tortured him for hours and live streamed it. And
CNN tried to justify him.
Yeah, actually, this one guy in CNN, people are saying, okay, this is evil. What they've done is evil. They need to be punished for it. So quit it.
And someone's like, it's not a hate crime. Well,
no, he said, well, I think what he said is, well, I don't think it's evil. He goes, I don't think it's evil. I think they're young people. They make bad decisions. They've had bad home training. No, clearly that is an evil act they pulled, I mean, that's not justifiable in any sense. Yeah, maybe they did have a bad life or something, but that in no way justifies what they did.
Did you hear this time where CNN doxed a 15-year-old?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I
What?
know that because he posted a meme. about
So he
it.
made a GIF or GIF or whatever you call it.
Triggered.
Okay, I get it. I should be crucified.
Exactly.
So there's a GIF
Accurate.
of a Trump wrestling someone, like he was in a wrestling match, and like they instead of like the guy, it was like a picture of CNN, and he like goes like the dude down. He posted it on Reddit. It got really popular, and then Trump posted it on his Twitter, and he's like said something about like getting rid of fake news. Everyone found it funny, but CNN got really angry, so they doxed this 15-year-old. They got all of his private information, and they're like Trump was promoting hate speech. We have the right to publish all this kid's information.
Did
so
they
pretty
get
much
punished for it in the end?
that's where this part comes in, my friend. All of the memers from the internet proceeded to mock CNN and call them out for their shenanigans. And everyone made memes of CNN being a horrible news network that doxed a 15-year-old over a meme they didn't like.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
CNN, the CEO of CNN
Wow.
has admitted to having made just completely fake news stories for me.
They have, like, Trump drinks 12 Cokes, you know, like,
What?
Trump uses 2 hands to drink water. Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream, you know.
Who cares?
Why?
Like, at all.
That's like an MTV.
No, this is a funny.
News
This is the
channel.
true funny thing. So, Fox News
What'd you say?
MTV.
recent
It's like MTV.
school shooter. This was actually something that really happened. CBS, new recent school shooter. Like all the other things. Then CNN, Trump drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day.
Yeah, that's essentially what CNN does. They, like, try to do anything to, like, get people to hate Trump. And it's funny because literally almost everyone on the internet hates CNN.
I have a truth to say.
What is
Everybody-
What is the truth?
The workers for CNN most likely vote for Trump.
Why?
Here's why. So if you look at it and think about it, Trump is the reason why CNN's ratings would go up. It's the reason why people would view them because there's news stories about the president. If they don't have a president to make fun of, their ratings are going to go down.
But the thing is, CNN posted all this stuff like why Hillary is gonna win. You know, they always talked about Hillary winning. Then dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that's weird. The media is they have to have Trump there if they want to get their ratings up. It's sort of like
A
they're-
lifeline.
they fake. It's not really that they fake hate Trump, but they use hating Trump as a way to get people to look at their news.
And the thing is, so many people and I don't know why school like has us watch CNN 10, despite the fact a lot of the people are on the opposite
I have to
spectrum.
say that CNN 10. It's a lot less biased because it's first of all it's going towards kids, so it's really hard to have kids things be as biased. But also another thing is that it instead of like having people commentating over this news story, it's just this guy who makes puns all the time saying what happened, not really having his own
Yeah,
outlook on
I
it.
actually kind of like seeing.
I like the concept, but at the same time, it's like you have to be careful. This is CNN. You're still watching a form of CNN. You know, like not a good idea.
Yeah. So,
Do you even have the chat up for the stream ever?
No, I check it
Oh.
on my phone actually.
we have one viewer.
I think it's Cooper Spironic, either that or it's Gavester. One of them was recently in the chat. You heck. Take that.
I just realized the camera's out. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
Didn't notice.
No, I did. I just wanted to make it.
Wait, Tommy, do you have that
I would-
actual
I guess.
video up on your phone?
What video?
The stream is up. Is it up on your phone?
Yeah.
You're our one viewer.
What are you doing?
Cruz,
No, because we've had 0 viewers.
Cruz,
Oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah.
guess that YouTube
Really,
is
you're
smarter
not
than
doing
Twitch.
anything.
Because
Yeah.
on Twitch, when you're viewing the stream, when I'm watching the
Just
chat on
grab
my
my
Twitch
arm and
stream,
start doing
it's like it's like one viewer, and I'm like, I don't have any viewers until it says 2 viewers.
Yeah, I noticed that when I did Twitch streams.
I've never streamed on Twitch. Like I've considered it before, but since like
It's a lot easier to get viewers on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that watch different things on Twitch.
that's good. it seems that Twitch seems better than YouTube, even though you can get
Twitch-
banned for
Twitch
really
is a
stupid
very-
reasons.
I'd say that it's hosted. It's made by Amazon, and Amazon is a very reliable company on the most part.
Oh,
And
nice.
and a reliable company does make a reliable streaming service. Twitch is very reliable, and there's really nothing that I could say that's bad about Twitch.
Okay.
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 It's not like YouTube where as soon as something bad happens, all their
Wait, what?
advertisers leave
Wait,
and
what did they say?
they
I'm
kill
just
all
checking
their
the chat.
creators and destroy their whole
What does
source
the
of
chat
income.
say? Like Michael Zillacraft a lot.
I don't know. These people are making jokes. I don't know anymore, man. What else can I say? I mean, it's. I mean, I love YouTube. But at the same time, it's like YouTube is constantly screwing over small channels. And
YouTube is very unreliable.
Yeah.
well, it's YouTube. Like they've been unreliable for a while.
Okay, I have a discussion point. YouTube's recent Black History Month tweet: "Roses are red, violets are blue. Subscribe to Black creators." Now, some people might say this is great. YouTube is out there for Black people, but I have to say that is one of the most racist things that YouTube could have tweeted. The reason why, you might say, no, it's not racist, but it is. You might say racism is against Black people. No, there's racism against all races. And now there's recently been a surge of racism against white people, as in this. You're saying subscribe to Black creators. That's like, imagine
Subscribe to somebody because of their skin color, not because you enjoy what their content is.
it's like
And there
saying
goes
this.
my monetization.
If you replace what it says with roses are red, violets are blue, subscribe to white creators, imagine how much controversy that would create.
Oh
That
yeah.
symbolizes racism in our culture, not against Black people, but against white people. Because if you just switch the statement to whether it's one race or the other, that shows that there's racism. True, you might say, well, Black people are underrepresented. I mean,
Well,
not really. If YouTube, one of the largest video watching services that
Platformer.
there is,
platform.
says a statement saying that Blacks talking about speaking for Black people, then Black people are not underrepresented. That is a complete lie. It's not true. They are represented just enough. But if you're going to,
Oh,
it's already been corrected.
shut up, Cooper. Don't call me while I'm streaming.
If you're trying to, I mean, the truth is that racism is the lowest it's been in history ever. But it's not gone. It's going to be extremely hard to ever make it completely gone.
You can't.
But I
get
think
rid
that at least in America, it shifted away from Black people and towards white people.
Well, I mean,
That's very true. Oh, good.
what I have to say is that you can't really. I mean, one of the things you can do is just stop talking about it.
Exactly.
It's gonna make people want to be less racist,
quote,
sexist, etc.
To quote,
Morgan Freeman.
Or also you can't permanently get rid of something bad.
I'm going.
That's what Paul said in the third Giganotosaurus Rex film. But there's a lot of meaning behind that because you can't permanently get rid of evil.
That is pretty accurate.
You can diminish it, but it's always going to be there.
Something that Morgan
essentially.
Freeman said is
kind of like the dark.
You
It's
can
always
neutralize it, you can imprison it, you can quarantine it, but it
Yes.
still exists.
It's still gonna be there. You can't permanently get rid of all evil in this world because we will always live in a world of evil here. Because this world is full of lies, evil, and sin.
I agree.
I mean, I don't want to make this stream super religious or anything, but I mean, that idea is even reflected in things like the Bible. God never said sin is never going to exist eventually. The way that all of that works, it's like the idea of hell and heaven and stuff. Satan isn't going to be completely destroyed, but he'll end up being in hell for eternity, essentially quarantining him to a place where he can't do any more damage. So when you think about it, that's very true. Evil cannot ever be truly eradicated, but it can be controlled and neutralized.
Indeed. And as much as we'd love to have world peace, that's not gonna happen.
It probably won't.
But the best we can do to find a way around that is by making all of the people who are accepting be in a society that's accepting and good, while the people who are jerks can just not affect us.
I was trying to say that's a very negative statement to say. I'm not trying to bash your statement, but saying there's always going to be a negativity, and not really negativity, but there's always going to be something. What I have to say is that your goal should be for there to be no more of that something. Even if that goal is unreachable, try to get as close to that goal as you possibly can.
Now we're gonna try our best to like live in a good world, try to make the world as good as we can. But the thing is, you can't make it perfect, because no matter which corner you look at, there's always gonna be a form of evil out there. You can't get rid of it. However, you can make the world better, and you can be nicer. You and other people can be nice. You can help make others nice, and hopefully, you can make the world better in a way or two. But you can't make it perfect, because no matter what, the world's always gonna have flaws. But you can make it good.
Man, we're getting into some really universal meta stuff here.
We go from talking about
That's
Sonic.
where we start. How did we do
We
that?
go
We
from
started off
Sonic-
talking about Sonic, then we went to cartoons, then we went to CNN, then we went to Fox, because Fox has cartoons, which took us to CNN, which took us to politics, which took us to asking questions about the freaking universe.
Basically,
This
almost
is
every
another
stream.
topic that I could comment about.
That's essentially
It's
every
about
single
the whole how conversations work. Humans are very interesting in the way that they talk to each other in this way. If you start a conversation with somebody, you talk to them. And as you talk to them, more topics keep getting brought up. So you can go through many topics through just one conversation. And this is kind of a very interesting thing about how how humans compared to pretty much all other animals, their social interactions are much more complex in the way that you can have a conversation using language, which is exclusive to humans, and then through language, as you're having a conversation, you can talk about one topic, and then as you're going through that topic, you can it'll lead you into another topic that you want to talk about, and it's very interesting how that is.
I mean, I agree with that, but I think it's specifically a funny example in this situation because we went from talking about Sonic the Hedgehog games to talking about conceptual universal concepts.
Here's another
What is a conceptual concept? That makes no sense.
Another example about that whole about the whole conversation thing is I was just talking about how that thing is exclusive to humans. And that could lead you on to many things like talking about PETA. That could lead you into that.
Oh,
And
PETA.
I was actually trying to get us leading into that. That's another interesting conversation.
Oh yeah.
Why
My-
did you trap us?
Speaking
Nathaniel?
of PETA, the vegan girl who I know, she recently said something horrible about the recent shooting, saying, "Well, this happens every day, every second to animals," and she had no remorse for the actual lives lost,
I think that
and trying to justify her actions.
acting like here's the best thing I can say about this. It's that you shouldn't act like animals are the ones who are being beat up on. If you look at actual animals, if you put a lion in a room with a zebra, what's going to happen to the zebra? It's going to get killed and eaten. The strongest animal wins. It kills the other animal and it eats it. And that's how it works. We are technically animals if you look at it that same way. But if you want to look at it the other way, it's kind of just the way that you look at it. Either way you look at it, whether humans are equal to animals or humans are not equal to animals, either way, we should be the ones on top eating the animals.
Basically, in my opinion about the whole animal thing, what is it with people thinking that animals have souls? I could understand a 3-year-old daughter asking if her cat went to heaven. I could ask that.
I think that this is a whole nother
That
kind of
dog
topic
eating hamburger.
to discuss, because if you think about it, certain animals, if you have certain animals. So like, let's talk about this.
Let's talk about that.
If you look at the Ebola virus, does it sympathize? No, it has
It knows the way.
It knows all it knows is find cell, infect cell, create more Ebola virus. Then all those Ebola viruses are just thinking find cell, infect cell, create more Ebola virus. They don't have a brain. They don't think very complex thoughts. But then you look at something like a cat or a dog or even something like many birds. Like some people say, "Oh, bird brain." That's an insult to your brain. Well, a lot of birds are actually very intelligent, like crows and turkeys.
Don't forget pigeons. Pigeons are now actually going up in the intelligence list because remember that article that we read in English class about how pigeons could tell if there's good or bad art, and so that's bumping them up to the intelligence of dogs.
And guess what?
I think that it's kind of like certain animals are
You're evolving.
I've done it.
Are actually quite intelligent.
Tommy has evolved.
And if you think about it, like you can call.
People are not just you're leaving.
Animals. There's certain animals that are not capable of companionship. They can't sympathize with something. They just do something. But then there's certain animals that can sympathize with you. As in dogs, cats, birds, even something like a gorilla.
And elephants.
Elephants, especially things like gorillas or even dolphins. They can sympathize. They can think, I am here. There is that human. That human is being nice to me. I like that human. That human is a friend of mine.
That human.
They can think. Like, people have trained gorillas to have complex thoughts. There's this one gorilla who was trained to and it had a pet cat, and the pet cat eventually died, and so they trained this gorilla to speak through because obviously it can't speak with its mouth. They trained it to speak through sign language, and what it did was it did this. Now obviously the camera's not on, but you guys can react to this. The human did this. So they did the sign language for a cat, and then which means to die, and then the gorilla did this.
Crying.
They did it. They made themselves look like they were crying. So obviously, that gorilla was able to think that cat is my friend, and it just died, and that makes me sad. So I have to say that saying that animals have no souls or have no at least spirits, I think that souls and spirits are a slightly different thing. But if you say that an animal doesn't have a spirit, I think that it's situational. Certain animals do, certain animals don't. It depends on the animal.
But yeah. And the thing is, like, I can just kind of tell that there's something like your soul's figured out, no which, but my cat can understand what I'm saying. So one time, like, I was really young. I was young, not too young, but like, I was like 14, and I heard something, and I was kind of scared. My cat was like right next to me, and I'm like, pretty kitty. He looked at me, and I told him that I was scared. And he rested his arm up, like he just put his arm up to me, like in like reassurance.
Cats have a very interesting attribute to them that or even dogs, they can feel sadness without you having to communicate. It's kind of I don't really know how they do it, but like if you're sad and you have a cat or a dog, they'll come up to you and they'll comfort you. They know when you're sad. They know when you're feeling a negative emotion. They know when you're feeling happy.
One thing about that, though, is that I don't think a soul is necessarily related to feeling. I think a soul is related to morality.
That's what I said. Soul and spirit are different. A spirit is a thing that's it's in other words like, okay, a spirit is sort of a thing that I'd say shows sentience. A soul is sort of something that has morality and it can think you can think. We're existential gorilla.
Everything you just said was wrong. Just kidding.
See you around.
I don't think animals really.
Nothing.
Jake Skywalker, is that you?
Definitely think.
I don't know. No.
Animals
They think, but I don't think they really have complex
I disagree with everything you've chosen for my character.
Yes, I can agree with that. Animals don't have complex thoughts, as in they can't like really comprehend math. They can't think about certain things, but they can sympathize with things and understand things not on a complex level, but on a simple level. That's what I'm saying. Most animals can't. So, not animals. Most living things can. Some animals can.
Honestly, I think animals just kind of do what they're taught to do. They just follow the protocols.
Not in every circumstance. Have you ever? I'm not like trying to insult you, but have you ever had a pet that you were close to?
No. Well,
Okay.
yes. Actually, I do have a dog that I'm close to. Yeah.
Okay. So dogs are very. I've never had a dog, so I don't really know. But from my experience, dogs are slightly more. Dogs, they were bred from wolves, and wolves are sort of pack animals. They follow whatever their leader says, unless they're stronger than their leader, in which they overthrow them. But they follow what the strongest wolf in the pack does. And in a dog sense, you are their pack leader, so they obey what you say.
Plus, they're the ones that feed you, and
that's kind of what I'm saying. The animals just kind of follow what they're supposed to do.
Because if you look at cats are a different story, because cats are naturally they have been bred. They have been bred from independent things, because cats are not. They don't hunt in packs. They hunt by themselves. So I mean, you can definitely be friends with a cat. I am very friendly with my cat. My cat's very friendly, but there's also
That
a lot.
sounds weird. I'm very friendly with my cat.
I'm very friendly with my cat.
This means that my cat actually likes me. They don't think of me as just there's this thing here and it's my enemy, or it's not something that I'm allies with. They think of me as an ally or a friend.
I guess so.
ooh,
Okay.
If you met my cat, you'd understand. They're really nice.
If you met her, you'd understand, Mom.
I have some photos of my cat actually that I took while I was in a call. They're actually really cute photos. I just gotta find them.
They're so cute photos.
Look,
That just sounded
oh my
weird.
gosh, it's a nose. That's so cute.
I'm a gnome.
Oh,
see, he's so happy.
You know, Tommy, if you come over to our house tomorrow, have you met our cat yet?
Yeah, Coco is her name, right? I missed all the memes. I do have a lot of pretty kitty stuff.
What is happening?
Check this out.
I know weird stuff.
See, he's so
Comfortable
cute.
with you guys anymore.
stop acting like you're mature. You're really not.
I'm making a joke, Cruz.
Well, you're not.
What?
You're not. I'm telling that you're not. So forth, you're not.
Make no sense.
I am
Makes sense.
confusion. I do not.
I do not.
Look.
Look at how pissed off she is.
He is.
He is,
I
sorry.
caught him standing on the table. So I took some photos of him before he ran away.
He's pissed.
He wasn't too upset. I think he was more annoyed.
Who's annoyed?
My cat. He was a funny meme.
You ran away.
No.
He protect. He attack.
Oh,
but
you're
most
talking about
important,
the
he
crack
loved to
cat.
snack.
No. I caught him standing on the table. So I took some photos of him before he jumped and ran away. He protect. He attack. But most important, he loves snack. That's me.
You love snack.
Yeah, I
Beautiful one.
so you protect your pretty kitties.
Yes. Let's play this at full volume.
What is the voice saying?
Here's like the original one.
I see the dual
Boyle?
Hooks Boyo.
Some of my parts.
It kind of became a phrase of mine. Here's some more pretty kitty photos.
Bodacious. Bodacious.
Wait, no, where's his mask? Oh wait, no, wait, sorry, I never had his mask. Oh.
Wait, go back. He is Godzilla's a vampire. You cannot see him in the beam.
Oof.
Excuse me?
What did you say?
Watch Godzilla bump its head on the arch. Oh.
Oh,
A bit too close.
No,
A little too close.
Everything means nothing, and nothing means everything.
now I will chokehold.
You might not believe my thoughts.
Just listen. I'm gonna.
I know, it doesn't seem like it, does it?
I used to play the game. I used to use my uncles back in the day.
Dang.
Here,
This hat works perfectly to make. Wait, listen. Make noises into it and listen what happens.
That one came out in 2006. The last big game
Like-
that came out for my uncle was.
Wanna
in
see something
2006,
funny?
But there were online games on the website.
Cruz, check this
There
out.
was also one. It was like
Uncle Ben.
I prefer-
Uncle Ben.
I know that's a dead meme.
Look at this dude.
Yes.
Yeah, you have the
What is this?
No anime.
Guys, we gotta play some Okie Dokie Literature Club.
Afterwards, because they're gonna be doing the voice acting.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
have
doing
that downloaded
voice
on
acting.
my
This
PC.
My
is
Xbox controller won't charge unless I push the charger to the right a little bit.
I hate that. I understand how Squidward feels.
This is a tweet SpongeBob made. Everybody makes mistakes except Squidward. He told me he never makes mistakes. So I guess for some reason he chose to fall off that cliff. So someone responded with this.
My favorite guy though, my favorite that I definitely get to play as was.
It's not that disturbing of a creepypasta, just kind of.
Well, there were two ice guys. Drac had the giant ice.
Can they see this?
The guy with the ice.
If you click on the that'll reveal the camera.
I never got Yellow. He was kind of
All right.
upset 'cause a lot of
Camera is on.
Yes.
Nathaniel.
Oh no, Nathaniel's weakness, a camera.
He's gonna be like the one gorilla that just runs up and like punches the camera. Not like the camera with the glass at the
Be like
zoo.
bootleg Kong.
You read 8 where he's like,
He's like,
he's like,
time to charge my Z power.
yeah, that movie's so bad but so funny. The 8th movie from like the 70s where they ripped off Kong. Where,
that. It's like,
yeah.
oh, you turn
And
off
the ending, like, it's like it was supposed to be really sad because you
Nathaniel's
know.
hiding from the camera.
That's
No.
amazing.
So,
Well, then show yourself on the
I
camera.
agree.
He is. He's actually.
Show yourself.
Show yourself.
Dominique, show yourself. His voice.
He's on the camera. You guys do realize
Show
that, right?
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Where'd my drink go? Oh, it's over there.
You got
I
slapped on the
can't
head,
believe
Blue.
that.
Oh,
Nathaniel
no.
is dead.
It's Darth Blanco.
the real Ben Swallow, if you didn't already know.
Yeah, he demonstrated that.
Which was that?
If you
Like
want to see some
Game Night
nice
Crew.
Ben
Force Awakens
Swallow
video.
action, chat, tell me if you want to see some Ben Swallow action.
No.
Well,
No.
the best part was
That's-
that he
Pick-
looked
pull up
just
the
as
chat,
much
let's see how-
like
let's see what
the
they
Hi,
say.
Welcome to Chili's guys he did as Ben Swallow.
There's 0 viewers. Nathaniel.
Oh dang, that's too bad. Because you know,
Oh dang, that's
if we
too
get if we get any viewers, I'm gonna say ask them if they want some Ben Swallow action.
All right,
Uncle
so should I be ending this by now?
I'll be the one that looks
Yeah,
at the
I want
viewers.
to play some nice okie dokie.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Bye.